Yes, no, maybe.
Oh,
No,
no.
I didn't.
Ready on you.
Okay. All right. Thank you all for being here. Obviously, we are here on this day of days. Some, 70 plus years later, we are here to sort of memorialize the actions that were taken upon the 6th of June, 1944, when thousands of members of the Allied Expeditionary Force crossed over the British Channel and invaded the Normandy area of France, and subsequently took it, leading to the defeat of Germany later in 1945. Obviously, this operation was an immense scale, and it contained members of multiple nations varying across different countries, including small nations that are long forgotten, across the beaches of Omaha, Gold, Juneau, and Sword, as well as Utah. Obviously, something that's not taken into account is the remembrance also for the lives of many Germans who have lost their life on this day. The Germans obviously were there as an invading force. However, most of the people there were not bad people as well. They were also just, some of these guys were there starving to death because the supply lines of the Germans weren't that sufficient. But I'm not here obviously to talk about the Germans here. I'm here to talk about the sort of Allied and the French and also the Germans as a whole. So I want to sort of make this speech here. I know that the members of the beaches gave their life taking the beaches and securing the French liberation of the Normandy and France as a whole. We also know that some time later, there was a following D-Day in the southern France that relieved the southern France areas. Members of the airborne forces in Operation Tonga, in Mission Albany and Mission Boston, obviously also gave immense sacrifice to securing the land in France and the liberation of the French people. We're just going to take the time, a moment of silence for all forces, both Canadian, Moroccan, French, British, American, German, all nations, no matter who they are or who they serve with, on this great day. We're here to signify and commemorate their memory and their sacrifice. We're just going to take a moment of silence now. Okay, thank you all for your silence. Now, just before I finish up, I want to sort of talk to you guys a sort of significance here. We are, playing a video game. We're here as a sort of online community, getting together across the many different nations, just like during the war, all the armies coming together to sort of form a unified front against the Nazi tyranny. Now, obviously, here today in the video game, we try to pay our respects by doing things as much as historically accurate as possible. That's the way we pay respect. A large percentage of us who we count ourselves amongst the reenactment community, even though we're an online presence, we still represent that and we still present to the public a sort of history lesson for all to learn and become more knowledgeable about World War II and the people that served in it. So I want to thank you guys for coming along and making this community so great, especially with the more recent changes, the inclusion of a new platoon and the amount of people that have dedicated their time and their lives to this community. We owe you a great service, just as we owe the many that sacrificed their service and their lives on D-Day on the 6th of June, 1944. So thank you guys. All right, that is all. Thank you.
Kaiser, if you will, please.
Cool. So thank you, Barton. That was really, really well said. So to kind of exit this part more of just a conclusion for the event today in general. So having being this size is obviously brand new to all of us. It's going to be a lot and a huge learning curve, not only for you guys, but for us having to manage all this. So we do hope you guys are patient with us over the next couple of weeks while we try to sort out any issues. Horner and I, mostly Horner, spent the last hour and a bit going through and trying to do as much of the back-end admin with you guys as we could to make sure everyone was set up with their tags and everything they're going to need. Not all of it's done. Some of it is going to get passed down to the platoons and the sections. Just be patient if you notice something that isn't what it's supposed to be, like a missed TeamSpeak tag or a uniform that doesn't get 100% fixed tomorrow when I push out an update. Just be patient, pass it up through your section or on the tailor shop if it's relevant to that, and just be calm with it. It's like I said, there's a lot of you. Like there was 50 plus people here at this event. We have like 60 active members. It's very hard for us to keep track of absolutely everybody. So just be patient with us and continue to do the Lord's work. You guys have been doing really well. Tomorrow will be a huge company training, our last big one before we go into another campaign. And then we'll be doing D-Day for a number of weeks, PvP at the end, and then on some other stuff as Warner kind of talked about a bit today. Other than that, maybe yeah, good job. Warner, any last words of wisdom?
Not fair. No.
No. Okay. Barton or Burger and or Burger.
Nothing for me.
Any other senior NCOs? Anyone have any super important things I need to say right now? Well, guys, thank you for coming. Thank you especially for staying up for this. I think this was really important. Just so we recognize that, as Barton said, this is a video game. But we can still take time to remember those that actually did some really incredible things. Alright, so you guys you can dismiss casually here just because we're doing a little bit like this. But thank you for coming, and we'll see you all tomorrow. Good battle.
You guys are good to go.
Number
Bye.
5
Number 4
dismissed.
platoon about turn and just walk off.
Number 5 platoon, dismissed.
About face.
About
Just
turn.
don't just DC in the middle
About
of the
turn, about face, yeah.
Oh, look.